I'm Tan and Cole, and I'm going to be showing you the basics of archaeology today. I chose Ginzel here because she has minimal archaeology skill, but also fast flying. First, you'll need to be trained in archaeology. So in any major city, find one of the helpful guards. Don't look for the talk bubble. Look for the little scroll icon. So select trainers, then archaeology, and they'll put an arrow and a marker on the mini-map so you can find the local trainer. I wanted this to be helpful for any experience level with WoW, so it may feel like this starts off a bit slow. So the archaeology trainer is in this room just behind me. So I'm just going to go and buy up all the archaeology skills so I can max that out. I'm currently in the max level area, so might as well go and take advantage of that. I find doing archaeology easiest when I have a quick key binding to switch between survey and mound. So I'll show you how I like to have that set up. I put them at the bottom of my right action bars. If you don't have yours showing, you can turn them on by going to the menu, then interface and action bars. Turn on both right bar and right 2. I'm also going to hide the empties so it's less distracting. So I've got survey, now I need my mount. Shift P for collections, then mount tab. You can right click on a mount to set it as a favorite. You can see by the stars that I've already set some. So I'm just going to grab the summon random favorite mount and put it next to survey. Now I need to keybind these two buttons. Back in the menu, select key bindings, then multi-action bar, and you can see both sets of right action bars. One at the top, 12 at the bottom. Press the not bound, and press the keyboard or mouse key you want. You can see the letters for the keybind show up on the button to confirm you've got the correct one. The mouse buttons I'm using are also set as my page up and down, but do whatever works for you. If you mistakenly unbind something, the screen will warn you, so keep an eye out. A quick test and the buttons light up as I press on the mouse. So now we are trained and our buttons are in place, time to go grave robbing. Press M to open the big map, right click to zoom out, and look for shovels marking dig sites. If you don't see shovels, click on the magnifying glass and make sure you have show dig sites turned on. At low level skills you won't have dig sites on every continent, like Pandaria, but I do have some dig sites on the Broken Isles. Archaeology works by using the survey ability to triangulate the location of a hidden node. The newer areas are smaller and easier, so our first dig site is going to be from Legion. I'm using L to open the quest log, which has the smaller map to keep me on target. Now as you approach, make sure your mini-map is set to track dig sites if you haven't already. You're going to need the red blob it puts down. That's the space we're working in. I'm going to land in the center and check using the survey ability. Well, that's what we're here for, the hidden node. First time's a charm, I guess. Just select it and you'll search and loot it. Next survey gives us the telescope with the yellow light. I'll survey a few times so you can get a good look at it. The direction you would be looking at if looking into the scope is the direction it's pointing. The way my method works is that I'm going to walk the direction the scope points, and because it's yellow, I'm going to walk for about 6 seconds, giving me the proper distance. See, lining up, as you get used to this, you don't have to line up so exactly, but this is for demonstration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, survey, right? And green is closer than yellow, and blinking green is closest. So 1, 2, 3, a little bit more, right? Survey again. See, blinking green, walk 3 or until you get the glowing shovel overhead. Surveying that spot gets you the fragment. Right, now finding you a few more yellow and green samples. Ideally with blinky green, normally just walk where it's pointing and dig at the glow. Survey. Now survey. yellow walk 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Survey, blinky green, just walk. Glow, dig. Now this is fun. Sometimes a mob will spawn, you'll kill it, eventually. This alt's not really combat ready. Anyway, you get more fragments than a keystone. So the overall idea that I think you can see at this point is to walk 6 seconds for a yellow survey and 3 seconds for a green survey, more or less. My fan counter I made for the bottom of the screen is betraying how inconsistent my counting is in game, but it gives you a general idea of the distance to travel. And then you'll also notice that bar filling up. Each node you find moves the bar closer to being full, and once it is, the dig site is clear and you've got to move on to a new dig site if you want to keep going. Now I'm taking you to a much larger dig site so I can show you red surveys. We're back on the original continent, probably vanilla WoW area. And if you take a look at the mini-map right now, you can see that the red blob takes up much more space. So I'm gonna land in a central area. And we're gonna survey, and that came up yellow. Alright, let's just skip past that. Now we survey again. Red is the greatest distance and the least accurate. My trick with red is to line up with the telescope, then survey again, on purpose, not just for display, then travel the angle between them. Here the two red pointed in mostly the same direction, so I'm just going to go that way. Instead of counting, I'm going until more than halfway to the edge of the mini-map. I'm going to try to follow that with my cursor for you. Red again, normal in these big areas. I think it's part of what makes people dislike archaeology so much. So again, summon 2, line up between them, aim for halfway to the edge of the mini-map, right, and then hop. And this time when we survey, we get some yellow. Right, so I'm going to fast forward to get to some more red. Right. So we've got that red, and surveying again. Right. Aiming for between the 2 of them towards the edge of the mini-map. Survey. It gives me a good green. So you see on that one it worked out really well. And we'll do one more. So survey red, fly, jump about to the edge of the mini-map, and then we found the node right away. Now for using the fragments. Open your spellbook, professions, and then click on your archaeology. The reward you're solving for is random and determined at the start. The book shows 134 out of 100 highborn pieces, so I have 34 more than I need, but I can carry up to 200 of each race fragment. If you try to loot more than 200, you won't lose them. You just have to come in here and solve, then you can finish looting. You notice the hexagons there? You can click on it and add any keystones you looted earlier. They typically count as 12 fragments. The Nobleman's Letter Opener will let you use up to 3 keystones. It varies by the item you're solving for. Once that's solved, we can see the next item for this race is going to be another common item, and it only has 1 hex slot. Then if you solved an item for one of the newer areas, you're going to go into your inventory and use the item. That way it converts into a kind of currency, restored artifact. Sometimes it randomly triggers little quests to turn them into the local archaeologist. So that's the idea. There are of course add-ons that change up some of the visual aspects of this, but once I understood how this minigame works, I didn't need to weigh my system down with the add-ons. I'll put some WoWhead links in below so you can see some of the goodies that drive people to dig up these fragments of the past.